What is going on, IBL fans? This is True Trade Cookie, and I'm finally back for some more transactions and trades. I apologize for the past few weeks where there hasn't been a lot of action going on with this. I've been very busy. The other few who were supposed to help me out with transactions and trades actually both dipped from the analyst crew, but that's okay. We're here now. I'm going to be explaining a bunch of transactions, even though they are delayed. I'm going to be explaining them anyway, just for continuity. But yeah, let's get started. So first of all, way back in week 5 of the IBL, there was a trade between Caleb and the Kansas City New Kings and Brendan and the Marlsboro Mudsdales. They basically swapped ghost types. Caleb dropped his Kofagrigus and Brendan dropped his Dust Noir. Basically, Brendan had the extra points, so he is getting a bit of a better ghost type out of the mix, and Caleb is dropping his Kofag for a bit of a worse ghost type, but in exchange, he is making another change, which we'll get into right now. Caleb is making Jolteon a Z user with these points, so the whole dynamic with Caleb's team I really like is that he is taking the Z pressure off of Nidoking a bit, which is really nice. Getting Dust Noir over Kofag is interesting. I don't really know what he plans to do. I personally think Kofag is much better than Dust Noir. But I hope that he makes Z Jolteon worth. It can definitely be useful, because walls such as Rotom Heat can usually wall Jolteon, but they don't take a certain Z moves very well. But yeah, we'll see what Jolteon can do versus things like that. But yeah, on the flip side, Brendan actually made Dark Devil 26, coach of the Marlsboro Mudsdales, made a couple of really big transactions. He actually traded his he dropped his Rotom Cut in exchange for Virizion and his Passimian in exchange for Zebstrika. Now this is really interesting for his team for a few reasons. First of all, he finally dropped the Passimian, which in my opinion was not the right mon to pick. I don't think Passimian is very good, just at all. And I'm very glad he picked up Virizion, because I think Virizion is actually a really good Pokemon. Dropping Rotom Cut, he actually loses a couple of things. He loses a really good Defogger. He does have, currently in hazard removal, he has Metabuzz, he has Cryogonal for Spin, and that's about it. But now that he has Virizion that is a Rock Resist, which is really good, a really reliable Rock Resist, one that he'll bring more often than he would have brought Passimian, which is really interesting. And Zebstrika actually provides him with a fast electric type, giving his team the speed it kind of was lacking before. That's another thing for the Virizion, it's giving him a bit more speed. Before his team was a little bit slow, with Lycanroc Dusk kind of struggling to pick up the pace, and Pyra as well. But now with Virizion and Zebstrika, he has a couple of faster threats to kind of help him, and he did lose a bit of initiative because Virizion doesn't get any sort of initiative, but Zebstrika has a fast initiative mon with Volt Switch, fast momentum mon with Volt Switch is really powerful for his team. And yeah, I definitely think that Brendan did well with his trades this week. I think Caleb did pretty good. I don't think this made a big difference, but I think it was a nice little change, and you might as well. But yeah, now we move on to Ashley, coach of the Houston Hardens, who is making a couple exchanges. He is dropping Vikavolt for the recently dropped Rotom Cut, and he is dropping Togetic for Comfy. A couple things that this does for his team is he loses 2 of his ground immunities, but he still picks one back up, so he now has currently 2 ground immunities in Celesteela and Rotom-Mow, which are both pretty good ground immunities. He is gate dropping a couple, he's dropping Alright, sorry about that. Anyways, He is dropping a really bulky Pokemon in Togetic for Comfy, which provides him with a little bit more offensive pressure, which I really like, because he is actually losing a little bit of offensive pressure with Vikavolt, the Rotom Cut. And I think overall, just his team is a little bit more threatening, because I think Vikavolt and Togetic are both a little bit underwhelming in their own ways. Vikavolt is just a bit slow and doesn't have enough bulk. Togetic just does not hit hard at all, whereas Rotom Cut has kind of all-around decent stats, and Comfy can tank as well as set up and be a threat. So I think overall the threat level of his team really increased, and I really like that. Other than that, I think Ash has a really solid team here. I think, even though his record doesn't show it, I really think that he can, with the right prep, he can definitely pick it back up. But yeah, we'll see how the season goes for him. And that was it for Week 5 transactions. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you for the next week's transactions.